Here's the problem. I saw what they've put into effect as the new standards to the pipeline safety. And here's the other thing is I found it right at the deadline. If I had been a day later, you could have said I didn't get it in time, it defaulted. But that's not what happened. Again, I got there right in time. But somebody wanted to pretend that they had a lien that's actually not even in effect because it doesn't exist. Because what they did is they've been lying and they stole my identity and they put an illegal lien on me. And the thing is, even if there was a lien on me, I met my obligation in time. So they had no right to execute that lien. And because I am dedicated to actually reading the documents, and I'm not going to do what happened with my Federal Reserve comments, most of them, which is that I was compartmentalized because I needed to be contained and isolated from the rest of all of the crap. A lot of it was crap. Some of it wasn't, right? The one I read on derivatives that was primarily composed by people that were actually involved with the energy sector was incredibly informative. I read every comment. I knew what they were dealing with on a certain level, at least. That's part of what's informed me ever since I participated, ever since I did that. I realized that I had the kind of perspective that was running concurrent to what they did. So when you've got these elements of the actual gas and oil pipeline safety standards being updated at this time, as what? 6 months after they implemented changes to a 25-year capital outlay process connected to the gas and oil sector, which I also have, right? Somehow, everybody else is doing everything else. Little old me ends up with it. Well, that's because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I read it. And it's completely unacceptable. It's anti Semitic in the most virulent way, which is in complete contravention to what you allowed the credit unions, the National Credit Union Association, to do. The kill a Jew in order to cut off the kickback pipeline of the money laundering syndicate. You kill the Jew to resurrect them as a Christian after you've finished converting it. So instead of being able to launder it one way under some skeezy, nasty Jewish system, you cut off the Jew and then you launder it through what? The SEC? The Department of Justice? And then it resurrects, hallelujah, with all the Christianized elements to it. Unfortunately, they've still enshrined the process of killing the Jew into the actual pipeline management safety standards. As I said, I'm only on the fifth of 43. And all five of them reveal the same thing. Now, here's the comforting thing, or rather, the thing that lets me know that you guys are wrong, is that there is an element of understanding and being conscientious with what I've seen so far, that the people actually involved in the industry connected to the gas and oil sector understand this and don't necessarily comply or agree to comply with it as is. Now, as I said, I'm only on the fifth of 43, and the Department of Justice consistently, over and over and over again, aids and abets the highest level of criminality through the federal government without actually addressing the systemic causes of corruption. Do you know what happens when it comes time for an overhaul to your pipeline safety management system? And the Department of Justice plays the murder the Jew to resurrect them Christian syndicate? How many Jews did the Department of Justice murder this year? Let me tell you something. What happened to that $72 million fine that came exactly 10 days after the 2016 election. What happened to it? Did you just resurrect it in $144 million worth of victims' assistance? That's exactly what you did. Did you prosecute Trump? Did you prosecute Clinton? Did you prosecute the murderer of that person that was working on Hillary Clinton's campaign in July of 2016? He was murdered. It was a strategic, coordinated hit. It was a targeted assassination. Did you prosecute that murder? No, you did not. And that's just one. If I'm not mistaken, he's Jewish, isn't he? That's just one. I'm going to read all of the comments. I'm not going to let you put a little cookie piggyback on it so that then you can launder the process by which you've refused to address your anti-Semitic campaign into some fake Christian racketeering. I know what you do to those good Christian girls when you get them in the right code. I know what you do. I've watched it. It made me cry in a bathroom, and then you kidnapped me for 10 days to punish me for not saying thank you, Master. I don't care if it was the Department of Justice or the Department of Interior. I don't care if it was a doctor of jurisprudence or if it was a doctor of psychiatry. Until you actually do what you need to do, I can't comply with your crime. I won't. It's that apparent. And it's that ridiculous. Because what you've done, again, is up the ante. I said that when you act that incompetently and you allow for corruption to pervade the government and our system of redress that pervasively, you are sowing and inciting us to riot against the government. It is actively seditious. And when you're doing it in a way that is attempting to entice or extort us into offering our primary loyalty to another country while you slander them and accuse them of crimes you won't even hold yourself accountable for, then that's treason. It's treason against us. It's treason against the people. And even if I was kidnapped as a little girl and brought to America to be a part of some secret nuclear paradigm, that's your fault. That's your fault for waiting until I was 43 and didn't fucking die and didn't agree to resurrect a goddamn fucking Christian after you murdered my Jewish fucking ass. It's your fault. Because what it did is it proved that somewhere wanted me to live long enough to bear witness to the full travesty of your disgusting, racist, sexist, rapist, pedophilic fucking syndicate. There's nothing about it that has gotten anything close to actual constitutionalism, to actual democracy, to anything you forced down the throats of people all over the world while you tried to get them to acclimate to your concept of what was acceptable sexual behavior. So, when are you, until you guys figure out like what you're going to do in order to meet your obligations, all I can do is be consistent. And there's no way in hell I am going to condone you totally exploiting every possibility you had so you can give $144 million as a token offer to keep those women and those people that have been exploited quiet. Because I already know what the contingencies are. You take this now and shut up. It's the same thing you've been doing for years. Take it now. You waive your liability. You gotta sign a non-disclose. No fucking way. And you're going down. Every single person who agreed to set up that kickback scheme is going down. You're going down for trafficking through the Department of Justice.